First, before we jump on how do we define Agile, what's the difference between Agile and Waterfall and so on, let me step back a bit and describe it from the customer's point of view, okay? So say, there is a customer and there is a business and there is this timeline. So say year 2019, January. As a business, you may want to announce like, hey, we are working on something cool. So there is this, say, announcement. Boom, you announce something like, hey, boom, we are working on something cool product. You may expect it in September. Okay, so the customer says, oh, really cool, you know, I'll receive something valuable in September. So it's January, February, March, April, say up to September. Well, I haven't counted the months, but say somewhere here is September, okay? And the customer cannot see anything. There is no outcome coming from the company because they work in the good old waterfallish model where they analyze requirements, they design, they start developing, they test, they integrate, they deploy, and they could deploy or release, say, at the end of September, okay? Usually, applying waterfall, there's a delay, so it could be October and November, but let's not fool around. Jokes aside, say we hit the deadline, we release it, and we wait for the feedback, and the customer says, oh, well, not really. This is not what I wanted. No, not what I wanted. You know, this is not what I expected. It's a bit different. So from the customers, from the business standpoint, you spend 9 months building something without actually having some indication from the customers if what you are building is what they want. Not a good point to be at, right? Because you need to start again developing, you get back to where you were and you start again developing and you know, okay, version 2 is in another 3-4 months because you need to again design, you need to iterate, you need to deploy and so on and so on. The whole shift was how do we become more agile? How do we respond faster to change? How can we iterate? How can we involve the customer already somewhere here, or maybe even here, maybe somewhere here, maybe every 2 months to show him something? How can we shift from this waterfallish waterfall model where you cannot see anything only when you deploy? How could we shift to something that we, you know, show something and then we show something else and then we show something else? And even if here the customer is disappointed, we iterate and then maybe here the customer would be happy and then we get him here and he would be super happy. He would be shouting, wow, yeah, right? So you adapt to his or her needs. All right, so this is where Agile comes from. It comes from the need to be more agile, to adopt to customers' needs and improve based on the feedback from customer. Okay, so I would highlight what agility actually is. Okay, so the agility is the ability to respond or to adopt. Yeah, ability to adopt and improve. Okay, it's the ability to adopt and improve. This is a very short definition. Is agility, you know, agility. So being agile means to be able to adopt to change, adapt to changing requirements, adapt to changing users' needs, and improve constantly. So it's no longer just one release in a year, it's like a dozen of small releases, say one release every 2 weeks. That's agile, because you can talk to a customer, you can adopt, you can talk, you can adopt, you can talk, you can adopt, you get feedback, you build on that feedback a new feature maybe, okay? A small feature. So this is where agile comes from. How could we improve continuously? Coming back to lean, Toyota production system that we talked about in a previous video, where Toyota production system is also based on continuous improvement, on iterations, on figuring out what the customer wants, what brings value, where the customer sees value, eliminating waste. And this is very similar. How do we define agility? So the ability to adopt, improve, grow, and learn constantly from the customer's needs, okay? Okay, I'll leave it here. So now we get to what agile is. Okay, so agile is not a methodology. It's not just one methodology. It's actually a set of values, principles, and methodologies. And this is what we are going to talk about in the next videos, because you need to know what the values are, what the agile values are, what the principles are. If you work in a fully agile company, they are guided by these principles. So what are the principles? You need to know them. Even as a recruiter, you need to know what the principles are, because then you can ask a hiring manager, hey, how about this and that? And we will talk about all the 12 principles. There are 12 principles. And there are 4 values we are going to talk about. And there are at least 2 methodologies. We will talk about Kanban and Scrum. Okay, so Kanban and Scrum, 12 principles, 4 values. This is what you at this point need to know about Agile. There is a set of values, principles, and methodologies. In the next videos, we will talk about them in details.